Hello everyone. I will be presenting my IS 201 final project. In this presentation, I will talk about all three of my experiential learning activities. Each activity helped me expand my knowledge of diversity and took me out of my comfort zone to experience new things. I will be discussing my literature review where I found articles that related to my topic of integrating social emotional learning into K-12 curriculum. And I will be highlighting key takeaways from this semester in IS 201. So for my first experiential learning activity, I went to a session during Martin Luther King Jr. week that was held on campus at Wartburg. This session was titled, "Who Do I Want You to Be?" And this was led by a guest speaker, Jennifer Wells. Jennifer has experience working in the education field, so I was very interested to attend this session as I am an elementary education major and I knew many of the things would apply to my future. Jennifer discussed how stereotypes and implicit bias can affect students and others in the classroom and life in general. And you can't judge someone just based on how they look, how they talk, and other things. And she also talked about how trauma can affect students in the classroom as well. And the biggest takeaway that I got from this session was that you never know what someone is dealing with or what they've been through. So you can't judge someone based on, what they look like, how they talk, where they're from, things like that. And just always being kind to them is very important. For my second experiential learning activity, I did something more unique. My family and I went to Mexico for a trip at the beginning of the semester, and I experienced diversity there, so it fit into a experiential learning activity. We were at a resort, but what was interesting was that we were the minority there, being from the United States. And speaking English. So most people were from Brazil, Canada, and all over Europe. And most of their first language was not English. So we got many different experiences talking or trying to communicate with people there, as well as we were also immersed in Spanish. And that, because that's what the locals and the all the staff spoke. And we really learned how important communication is when building relationships and working with others. We also got to experience and eat new and local food. One night we went into town and went to a traditional Mexican restaurant and had some really delicious food, but we stepped outside our comfort zone to try something new. This trip really opened me and my family's eyes to new perspectives on other cultures and places, and just the way that other people live. For my third experiential learning activity, I attended a Catholic church service held at the Wartburg Chapel on campus. It wasn't a normal chapel service, but it was a Thursday night smaller service where an outside priest came to give a message. I grew up in a Methodist church and still attend, and it's very much different than the Catholic church. My church at home is less formal and more laid back, and I've had many stereotypes and biases going into the Catholic service based on what I've seen and heard from others talking about that I've previously seen and heard from the Catholic church. The message was very good. That's not the part that was new for me. It was the structure, traditions, and ceremonial aspects of the service that surprised me. I knew that was a big part of the service, but it was different than I thought. And after the service, I thought I had time to reflect on my biases and stereotypes, and now I have more experience and I can move on from those things. And I was really glad that I got to see something new and learn from the experience. Moving past my experiential learning activities, I'll be talking about my literature review over the topic of integrating social emotional learning into K-12 curriculum. I will be highlighting the key aspects that I learned from the research. I'll be talking about what is social emotional learning, how to promote SEL in schools, and the benefits of integrating it into the classroom. Social emotional learning is essentially the learning process and growth of a student where they learn and apply knowledge in many areas relating to social emotional health. Um, you know, those being, managing and showing emotions, setting and achieving goals, responsible decision making, feeling and showing empathy, and building and maintaining positive relationships. Um, SEL is integrated into schools, and SEL skills lead students to having positive outcomes in school and past school in life in general. In schools, there is never enough time in the day, and most of the day is focused on content areas such as reading or math. And this leaves no time for SEL to be taught on its own. So teachers need to implement SEL into other subjects. SEL can be taught right alongside content such as math, reading, science, social studies. And it is important to keep SEL consistent over time so that students' skills keep developing and growing based on what they're learning in school, the experiences they're having, and the relationships that they're building, as SEL skills really develop through relationships with peers and teachers, other staff, parents, and other mentors that they may have. The 4 articles that I read and used had research backing the importance of social emotional learning in the classroom. These skills are absolutely critical for students to develop in helping them become successful in academics and in their future careers in life in general. Integration is necessary to teach students these skills and connect SEL with other subjects so it can be moved past the classroom. Here are the 4 sources I used and the references. So lastly, I will talk about the main things I will take away from our learning in IS 201 this semester. I learned many things throughout the semester, whether that be through class discussion, individual and group research, videos and movies, as well as class assignments. My eyes were open to new perspectives, cultures, and issues in the world. I have a better understanding of my stereotypes and biases and how I can work towards making myself more open and conscious of them. I built relationships with other students in the class that I did not know before, and I learned from their experiences and of them sharing what they have been through and what they've learned, which I thought was really cool. And my awareness of diversity was expanded, and I feel more comfortable talking about and experiencing diversity and issues that go along with diversity. This is my presentation, so thank you for listening and for a great semester in IS.